everyone. Welcome back to the Jersey Girl Podcast. My name is Madison. I'm your host, and I'm very excited for this episode today. I know I say that about every episode, but I'm really excited because we're talking about dance.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm so passionate about. Not a lot of my friends know that because they met me after I did dance. So before we get into all of that, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Bree Jacobs. As she said, a dancer. Started my dance career my entire life. I was 2. I think I mentioned that I sent a picture of when I was a baby. I started just as anyone else probably does, growing up in a studio doing all styles. So I did tap, ballet, jazz, the whole 9 yards. I actually grew up dancing here at the studio. This is my home studio. It used to be Wendy Sue Porter, and now it's Animated Movement. A great place. After that, I went to a vocational school for dance. So I was doing dance during the day at my high school and then dancing here. So dance has always kind of consumed my life. Something that, I guess my family put me into when I was a kid, and then it just took off from there.
I think a lot of kids when they're younger are put into a sport, and it's so cool that yours was one that you could stick with. I feel like kids go back and forth, but I think when you find a sport at a young age, you can continue. And obviously, you've done it into your adulthood, which dance is very hard to continue after high school. It's probably just so rewarding to look back and see all the years that you've worked and, probably stayed up late practicing and doing all this to see where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to be confused, I did have those stints in sports. I played field hockey.
Okay.
Was not something that caught on. I quit probably 3/4 of the way through the season because I couldn't stop dancing. And I was like, why am I doing field hockey? This doesn't belong here. So grateful that this is something that I was put in as a kid, and it took off from there, and it's something that is still really important to me.
Yeah.
Like you said, through adulthood.
I tried basketball. I tried soccer. I was okay at basketball. Soccer didn't last long. Soccer was a semester. I was at school, and it was a private Christian school, so anyone could join the team. Anyone could join any team they wanted. I was I need to do a sport, but I think dance obviously was something that stuck with me. It was a good outlet for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about for you in high school? Did you find that was a good outlet? Middle school?
Yeah. I think that dance was always something that I was able to do to turn my brain off.
Yeah.
I'm very type A. I was a straight A student, very in the textbooks.
Yeah.
That gets pretty complicated as a kid, where you're just so hyper focused on something that you're oh my goodness, your brain is always thinking about math. And then I would get to the dance studio, and then I was able to turn all of those things off. It was a safe space for me to be quiet and expressive at the same time. I'm not a very outgoing person. I have outgoing tendencies, but I'm more introverted. So, it gave me a place where I was able to be quiet, but also be expressive, where I'm able to show my personality and not have an alter ego, but almost the quiet girl that studies to, whoever I chose to be on the stage, or whatever role I was presented with.
Yeah. So when you did dance growing up, was it competitive? Was it just recreational? What were the starting steps when you started dance to where you were, I guess, before you graduated high school?
Yeah, so I guess from the very beginning, I was in a ballet class with, let's say, 20 people, and the studio owner came and picked 4 of us out of the room and said, you guys are coming with me, and we went and we started dancing by ourselves. So we basically, the 4 of us were separated, so the rest of the girls were over here doing their 17, 18, 19 kids in the class, and she said from the very beginning, she pulled us aside, and that was that. So those were girls that 2 of them I ended up dancing with until I graduated with. So from the very beginning, grateful that she saw a spark in us, because, again, we carried through that, the rest of our dance. We stayed together. I was one of the youngest people on our competition team at the time. So there was a male dancer. His name is Tommy Goodrich. He's on tour with the Moulin Rouge right now.
Oh,
so
my God,
awesome.
Moulin Rouge. I want to go see it so bad.
So good. So fun. We got to see him in Philly. It was awesome. But he was on the team. He was younger than me. And they were looking for a dance partner for him to come and do competitions with. And I was asked to join the team, and he was 2 years younger than me. And we danced basically through when I graduated high school. We were together, dancing together for 12 years. We did groups, productions, all of that. But that dance, that duet, was the heart and soul of my dance competition life. And really was something that I was passionate about. And, he was my best friend while we were here. We carried through. He's still my family. It was an amazing, relationship to have throughout my dance career. And, having someone that we were dancing together so in unison that we didn't even need to think about it. We were just there together in that moment. And, the competition scene is tough
Yeah.
sometimes, and I never kind of caught on to that. I was really
Mhm.
just dancing because I loved it, and it was nice to just have someone to, like, carry through that
Yeah.
tradition with.
Did you go to college after high school?
Yeah, I did.
Where'd you go to college?
So I went to Rowan,
Okay.
down in South Jersey. Didn't go there for dance. I was an accounting major. Um,
Okay.
so I was an accounting major and a dance minor. Graduated that way,
Mhm.
um, and then started to work in accounting after that. But obviously, dance is still important.
So we'll go back to, I guess, high school before we
Yeah.
continue with that. In high school, when you were at your vocational school and you were dancing and stuff, did you ever have like an itch to be like, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to. I want to go and do something else with dance. Or was that something that you were like, dance will follow, but I just don't know where I want to go after high school?
Um, I think that like dance, like I guess the continuation of dance was something that I always thought of. I didn't
Yeah.
ever think that not going to college was probably not an option.
Yeah.
My parents are both very like mathematical. My
Mhm.
mom's a math teacher. My dad's an accountant. It was like
Mhm.
go to school for something that you're gonna find a job for.
Mhm.
I started my process looking for arts administration so that I would be
Okay.
able to kind of pair up that art, behind the scenes, with like the accounting or
Mhm.
like the mathematical part of my brain. There's only like two schools that offer it, and like Wagner was one of them. I love the campus, but I was like,
Yeah.
I cannot fathom spending this much money for a
Yeah.
degree. And I ended up just finding schools that I was able to be a dance minor
Okay.
where they were dancing with the dance majors because I didn't want to be in a minor program where they're like, oh, like you just like do this because it's
Yeah.
fun and it's something to move. I really wanted the rigor that the dance majors were having.
Mhm.
Can't say I really got it at Rowan, but I did get to dance with the dance
Yeah.
majors. So that was why I ended up choosing to go there. So college was kind of always like my focus.
Yeah.
I think when I was a kid, I would like send my mom auditions and I would like want to do it, and she's like, "You're gonna end up like Britney Spears." So I didn't really do any auditions as a kid,
Yeah.
but um, definitely something that like was always maybe in the background. Like if it
Mhm.
happened, it happened, but I wasn't, I guess, aiming for that
Mhm.
or like the grind that people do to get that. I
Yeah.
wasn't really doing.
So how did we go from being an accountant to now working and having your own, like you said it was a dance company, right?
Yeah.
So how do you go from accountant to now you do this full time?
Yeah, so I would say I have two full-time jobs. So I
Okay.
definitely still work in accounting.
Okay.
My 9 to 5 or my 5 to 9, like whatever the phrasing is, but I work from home.
Mhm.
So the flexibility of working from home has definitely like opened up like a
Yeah.
lifetime of opportunities. I think it kind of started during COVID. Being able to work from home, right?
Mhm.
And being able to dance more. There was a lot of online dance classes. I was taking a lot of online dance classes. It was great. We everything opened back up and dance
Mhm.
classes are starting to now in person. And I guess like where my company is based in is that I was starting to find a need that the classes that I was taking weren't challenging enough.
Yeah.
Um, they were maybe not like geared towards beginners, but just I needed a little bit more.
Yeah.
I needed to do a little bit more dancing myself.
Mhm.
So started by like teaching classes that were
Mhm.
harder. So I was
Okay.
teaching at like adult dance studios, teaching what I would say would be like harder, more hip hop foundational
Mhm.
classes, which are hard to find.
Yeah.
And then starting the company came from wanting to perform more. So there's not a lot of adult performance based opportunities that aren't like the pros, right?
Yeah.
We have the NFL and the NBA dancers, we have the concert dance, like Alien, a million other companies. But there was nothing like on that pro, semi
Yeah.
pro, recreational, like for the adults.
Yeah.
So I found a need and I wanted to dance too.
Mhm.
So then I asked my friends and we kind of put this group together, and that's where it started.
I think that's amazing because I feel like too, it's very hard when you're out of high school to find a dance community as an adult. It's either like you said, there's not like an in between really. And also, I live in North Jersey. There's like no adult dance studios near me.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are in South Jersey, and I have a lot of friends that went to Ocean County College last year, and I was in the dance club that they go to these really cool studios, and I'm like, I wish that was me. I want to be able to dance. Like, I miss dancing so much, and it's such a good outlet for me, but I feel like it's great what you're doing because we need more of this. Obviously, the kids are kind of taken care of, but like the
Yes.
adults need a space to go. It's like you have the yoga studios, you have like the recreational like hockey or basketball for all adults, but we don't have the recreational dance for
Yeah,
adults.
absolutely. And like you said, like South Jersey, we are incredibly blessed with a
Mhm.
lot of options. Um, but I think the element that was lacking that I felt, you know, we were looking for as dancers was places to perform.
Yeah.
And that was like the key thing. Like I was saying before about being like an introverted person, but then like the stage brings something out of me that like is like kind of like out of body. Like I can't describe it. I feel like there's a Billy Elliot song from the musical Billy Elliot, and it's called Electricity. And he's like describing like how dance makes him feel. And he's like a kid that was supposed to be like, I think, a boxer or something.
Yeah.
And I listened to that song and I'm like, okay, like this is the closest you can get to explaining what dancing on stage feels like. And again, I was missing it. And I was like, I want to be on stage. I want to be on stage. And, you know, now getting that feeling again, like we're performing in 2 weeks in Boston. And I don't know, I'm just excited to be on stage.
Yeah. When you were younger, did you find that it just kind of clicked? Or is it like over the time you got more comfortable on stage? Or was it just like once you started, like you just were comfortable?
I think that if like corniness, like I came out like comfortable on the stage.
Yeah.
There's like stories that my family will tell about going on vacation with my grandparents' friends and making them all sit like they were my audience. And I would stand on the coffee table, and if someone was to speak over me while I was doing whatever performance, I would kindly ask them to be quiet, and I would start over again. Like if they were 3 minutes into my performance, they were talking, they would have to start over.
Like, wait, we gotta redo it. That was me when I was a child. I would sing because we had like a fireplace, had like a little stage, stage. I would perform either whether it was because musical theater I used to do as a kid, like that dance. Like I'd be like, Mom, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna watch me do my entire dance routine. I just learned. Like I was like, I love the spotlight. Hence what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But I genuinely like loved the spotlight as a kid. I loved showing off what I learned because it was the one thing I was good at. My brother and my cousins are amazing sports players. I'm not gifted in like the traditional sport field, but dance was something I was able to do. So I would always be so proud of myself when I got a combo down or I was doing competition
You're like,
when I won.
Show everybody.
I'm like, no, but you need to see this move that I can do that I know you can't do, but I can do it.
Yeah, so it definitely was always a performer. I even like when she pulled us out, like and pulled us into that second room, I feel like she probably saw something in us. Like I said, like those girls are still teaching dance, maybe not so performing so much, but I danced with them literally until we turned 18 and graduated and our bridesmaids and weddings. And, you know, the stage was always like something that we craved.
Yeah. So I guess we'll kind of go into now the more businessy side. When was the time when you came up with this concept and you were like, okay, this is something that I'm going to pursue?
Yeah, absolutely. I was on the train coming home from New York City working. So we live in South Jersey. The train ride is a beast. And I was sitting there talking to my friend who was in Toronto about to go on Disney Cruise Lines. And I said to her, I was like, I really want to make it on the stage, like this theme, right? I think I could do it. Like World of Dance is a big hip hop company or competition that travels around the country. They do first, second, and third, and then eventually there's like an international one that happens in California where they bring like the European and the other. I think they're starting in Asia, but there's World of Dance is everywhere, and they all come to LA to like compete there. And there are some local teams, like even more south than us, that were going, and I was like, I think I can do it. Like there's nothing stopping me from doing it. And I think that was kind of the theme of everything. I was starting to be discouraged with my creative journey in dance. Seeing some of my counterparts getting choreography jobs or coaching jobs or teaching jobs that I wanted, and they were getting them because they had the NFL, the NBA, the concert dance resume. So when this World of Dance, like, oh, you can do it mindset came up, it was like, kind of create your own path. Like, you want something, you want to be a choreographer, you want to be a director, you want to get these choreography jobs, start it. Like, even if it's like 5 people. And at that time, I was working on a full-length Christmas show. So I had a plethora of dance resources of people that like I would want to continue working with after the show was over. And then kind of brought that group of people together. I sent a very like rash text message. I think my fiance Steven was walking out the door. I said, I think I'm going to start a dance company. He was like, give yourself 10 minutes and still feel if you feel the same way. And he left, and I sent a message to a group of people. I said, if I start a dance company, will you join? And I would say like 99% of them, maybe there was 1 or 2 that was like, oh, we don't have the time. We're like, yep, let's do it. Found rehearsal space, started rehearsing immediately, like I would say within the week. held auditions, and then
Mhm.
kind of grew the company from there.
It's all about taking that first starting step. Because if you weren't just to be like, I'm just gonna give this a chance. I'm just gonna send that text out. Because I bet like party was like, what if people say no? What if this doesn't succeed? But
Absolutely.
if you just didn't take that initiative and take that step, you wouldn't be where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was like, again, like I'm seeing like my counterparts have all these like opportunities, which is
Yeah.
awesome for them. I believe that there's enough dance for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, there's obviously the competitive aspect of going to World of Dance and competing against other
Mhm.
teams, but in terms of like the space, there's enough there's enough food for everybody.
Mhm.
Um, so it was, yeah, I think, challenging to kind of like go in and like ask for something and
Yeah.
like seeing that return. But again, just like the knowledge that if I'm feeling like I want to perform and other people like are probably feeling the same way.
So I guess now that you have established you have people going on, what are the next steps to starting the dance company? Like, what are the next like things you had to write down and make that business plan of?
Yeah, I think I'm winging it. I think
Mhm.
I'm still winging it. If I was to like lay out the structure of how to do it, it would be a student.
Mhm.
Always be a student. Introduce yourself to people that you want to work with in the future while you're at class.
Yeah.
Take class. Hey, I'm Bree. Nice to meet you. Like, wear my merch while
Mhm.
I'm taking class, and then people have like that intro conversation
Mhm.
starter to be like, oh, like you're the director of Empire. Like, can I come join? Like, what is it like? Do
Mhm.
you offer classes? Whatever. Kind of opening the door for that conversation. Because obviously, a dance company, the first step is having people to actually dance,
Yeah.
right? Um, then having patience and knowing that when you're starting something from the ground up, it's not going to look like the way that you expect it to look
Yeah.
right at the very beginning. There's been some challenges, bumps in the
Mhm.
road. You see like the flow of like having a lot of dancers, and then some of them fall off, and then
Yeah.
there's new members, and then they fall off. Just like being patient with yourself,
Mhm.
enjoying the creative process still, because if you're looking to entertain your audience, it's you have to have people, you have to have patience, but then you have to remember that you are creative first and allow yourself to like come up with all your
Yeah.
crazy ideas, and like don't let that like be faded by maybe
Mhm.
like the business side of things. And then organization, like the accounting background that I have is definitely like helping me,
Yeah.
because um I'm not a one woman show. I now have a team of people that help me out with a million different things, but being willing to like get your hands dirty and do all the
Mhm.
jobs until you find the right people to do those
Yeah.
jobs to help you um, is definitely probably one of the key factors in
Mhm.
the success of this moving forward.
Obviously, you have the people. Now, how do you get the shows to put on? Do you guys compete, or is it just like the shows that I guess you put together?
Yeah, so we haven't put together a show yet. So we
Okay.
started in July 2023. We went to World of Dance in Boston that
Mhm.
November. Then we went to World of Dance in New York in May, and we're preparing to go back up to Boston this month.
Mhm.
Um, so we haven't done our own shows yet.
Okay.
But again, like being a student and just like learning things, like I,
Mhm.
I was going to a lot of shows, introducing myself to people. So there's been a few performances that we've done locally where we're like guest performers. Charles Smith in New York does a Club
Okay.
NYC every
Mhm.
single month or every other month. He's one of my mentors, so we've gone up and performed with him for his shows. We've been to Brick House, New York City, in Times Square.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of like shows that you can apply for
Yeah.
that we've gone to, but definitely something for the future is I hope to do it all, like
Yeah.
our own shows, maybe, you know, um, writing something from scratch. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I'm willing to do it all, and my team is very collaborative. I direct it, but I always think to lead is to listen.
Mhm.
So I am always listening to everyone's crazy ideas, and then whatever we can make possible within the group, we do. So it's not always like my choreography, my direction. I have a team of choreographers. If someone comes to me with some idea, I'm like,
Mhm.
let's do
Yeah,
it.
but that's how it should be. When you're a boss,
Yeah.
I feel like you need to have that open mindset, and you need to like want to hear everyone else. 'Cause it's not like a one straight path, especially with dance. Like dance is a very creative space, so having the team you have is probably very helpful to like make sure you're staying up with the fresh and new ideas.
Yeah. And as the team is growing, more ideas are being introduced. And I'm always like, I feel incredibly blessed with the creatives that I get
Mhm.
to share the room with. That like there's been rehearsals where I've actually been brought to tears that I cannot believe that like we are in the same room sharing
Yeah.
this space. So I think the opportunities are endless. Right now we are preparing for our big competition, but after that, I have like a few ideas of what what I think we could be doing
Mhm.
in the future, and we'll see what happens.
How do you find like people to join? Like, what's your main source of like I guess getting traffic? Is it Instagram? Is it like running ads? Is it word of mouth?
Yeah, so definitely no running ads, which is something that I probably should be getting into. There's like we mentioned that there's a lot of adult dance
Yeah.
classes that are happening in South Jersey. So me taking class, my dancers taking class, my dancers knowing people that are graduating high school but don't know what to do, or they're staying local for college but
Mhm.
they don't want to do dance team.
Yeah.
A million reasons. Sometimes I'm like, I have no idea how this person found me. There's been a
Yeah.
few people I'm like, where did you come from? Sometimes it's just tracking, like if I think people are going to be interested, if they are, aging out of some of these kid
Mhm.
companies, um, that's a way to, find people. But mostly class, definitely
Mhm.
word of mouth, and being a student. And we do offer open classes, like
Mhm.
to just bring people into the studio that normally wouldn't be. We make them really cheap or free, depending on like the
Mhm.
circumstances, and just bringing people into the studio and creating a space for everybody.
Mhm. How do you find that you make people feel comfortable in the dance studio? Do you have like certain things you do, or is it just like naturally you just know, I guess, how to handle people and be like a people person? 'Cause I feel like you said you're an introvert, so I wouldn't say maybe make you feel comfortable, but I feel like you're an introvert. So how do you get in front of a room and like teach?
That is a very hard question
You're like, I don't
to
even know. I just
answer.
do it.
I think the first thing is I do have extroverted tendencies. I
Yeah.
think that I this is harder for me, like this like one-on-one than like speaking to a room of
Yeah.
people. Usually like preparation and knowledge is like
Mhm.
the best way to be able to talk to a group of people. Um, Knowing what you know and only sharing what you know and not
Mhm.
speaking on what you don't know. Um, so like public speaking is easier. I guess with the team, like how did I know how to talk to them? I don't know.
It was just
I
in
love
you.
dance.
Yeah.
And I know they love dance. So at its core, if we just think about, okay, we want to be here, we know this is hard. Like I'm not always the nicest director.
Yeah.
But I ask for feedback frequently. I'm like, what can I do better? What am I doing well? And then kind of um, letting them know that I hear them,
Mhm.
and then maybe sending a text message after they send in a survey that's like, oh, like, can we have a rehearsal schedule? I'm
Yeah.
like, great, we can make a rehearsal schedule. I've added that to the calendar. Just like hearing them, and
Mhm.
again, to lead is to listen. I
Mhm.
think is like the key, because you'll learn everything you need to know if you're
Yeah.
quiet. And obviously, I'm not quiet in the studio, but
Yeah.
I do like take time to like listen and reflect on like what people are saying, and then try to implement change where it's
Mhm.
necessary.
So I know you said this is more of like not like a side. You could say kind of a side hustle because you have a main gig.
Yeah.
Do you ever like? Is this like your own hobby, or do you ever take time for yourself? Because I feel like it's very hard when you own your own business, especially when it's like your side thing. 'Cause it's like obviously all the time you're not spent working, you're spent doing this. Do you have a good system to take care of yourself, or is it more just like, listen, this is my hobby. I'm so passionate about it. I don't care what it takes. I'm just gonna keep going and doing this.
Um, I think I have a creative mindset, and I also think I have a great partner that has a creative mindset.
Mhm.
So sometimes our relaxation is like cross-functional creativity.
Yeah.
So sometimes I take pictures, or we'll edit a picture together,
Yeah.
or something like that that's still in that creative field. We did pottery one day; it was like really fun. Just finding ways to be a creative outside of dance sometimes
Yeah.
like hones in and like lets me like relax from dance. I never feel like I need to escape it though.
Mhm.
I feel like dance is my piece. It's like my time. Like it's my time. I put my phone on do not
Yeah.
disturb, and I'm in the studio. Um, we just like we just bought a house, and we
Mm.
put a big mirror like in our like down step to the kitchen, and it's like I feel like it's my own little dance studio in my
Yeah.
house, that
Oh.
like even while we're cooking or like crossing the mirror to go to the bathroom, it's like I have a second to be like, hey girl, like in the mirror, and then like
Yeah.
come up with like something that's creative just for
Yeah.
fun. So that's how I keep things, peaceful, and
Mhm.
the side project to the main project, but still keeping that creative
Mhm.
mind just always moving. And I think I don't like to sit still.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm someone I like the hustle, but I also need some time to like sit down and relax. If I hustle too much, then I just like burn myself right out.
Yeah, I definitely need a lot of alone time.
Mhm.
We are on different sleeping schedules. He's a teacher, so he wakes up early in the morning,
Mhm.
and I do not. So like in the evenings, I'll read,
Mhm.
kind of put my phone on do not disturb, and
Yeah.
just like take that second. But besides that, I feel like both of us are kind of going.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I feel like having like a nice peaceful night, like my friends will tell you, I'm the one they're like, oh, she's not gonna be awake. Like it's like 9 o'clock at night. Like she's definitely
I'm the
asleep.
one that is awake, but in the morning, you cannot catch me.
See, I'm more of a morning person. I'm the opposite. I like the morning. That's why when I like dancing, I'm like trying to find dance classes. Some of them go to like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, ooh,
Oh
on a
yeah.
Tuesday, I haven't been at 9:15. That's a big commitment. Like it's a Friday, like I can sleep in tomorrow, but some days I'm like, that's a big commitment.
You're like, I cannot leave the house right now. It
No,
is too dark.
no, and it's dark so early now. That's what makes it
Yes.
even worse. I feel like I need to be in bed like earlier.
No, I
We were
totally
literally talking about this on the way here. Me and my friend, we were like, I literally feel like I should be in bed right now, but it's only 7. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I was kind of getting sleepy on the car ride here, but thankfully I wasn't driving.
Good. Well, also we can keep going into like, what's your favorite dance? Like, what's your favorite dance style? Do you have a specific one?
Absolutely. I think at its core, hip hop is my
Mhm.
favorite style. I At the studio they didn't offer it to us until we were like maybe 12 years old, so it was
Yeah.
something that I was kind of introduced to a little bit later than the other styles. Um, I really like watching contemporary.
Mhm.
I started a sub company to my main company. So my company started as Empire Dance and it
Yeah.
was hip hop, and then we added Contempire, which is contemporary empire. And out of the contemporary aspect because I just wanted to watch it. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, let's go. And all my girls were asking to like expand to different styles.
Yeah.
So I have 2 captains that kind of take the lead on the
Mhm.
choreography for that part. So I think watching contemporary and hip hop, obviously, and then hip hop is like probably the only thing that I'm really doing right now.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll catch me in like a pro style class
Yeah.
for fun, but no kicks, no turns anymore, or
Mhm.
just past that.
Ballet was my thing. I loved ballet when I was younger. Tap. I quit when I quit when I was like 5. I started when I was 3. I quit when I was like 5 or 6. I was like, I don't like tap. I just for some reason I feel like you weren't moving
Overstimulating.
enough. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love lyrical and contemporary. Those are like my 2 top ones. I feel like because I did dance club last year, I stuck with. I really like that. Hip hop, I'm a little rusty. We'll see how this goes later on. We dance. Hip hop, I'm a little rusty, but I feel like lyrical is just so beautiful. Like the way everyone moves,
Yes,
everything.
absolutely.
So
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always down to learn new things
yeah.
about dance too. We just saw a show or performed in a show where there was break dancers or breakers um, that were doing like a contemporary dance, and
Mhm.
it was like, wow.
Yeah.
So also finding the cross functionalness between styles and kind of just living in whatever is
Mhm.
created, and I just like to watch it all, I
Yes.
guess.
I love watching dance. I will sit on my phone like on TikTok and I'll get all those like dance videos,
Yep.
but then it makes me angry. 'Cause I'm like, I wish that was me. I wish I was in the studio.
You gotta get in the studio more.
I know. I'll have to come try a class out now. I'll have to make the
Oh,
trip down
absolutely.
because I want to move to South Jersey. I lived here last year for a year and I loved it. I love South Jersey. It's like it's the one place I want to move to again. So if I ever move back down, I'm gonna come join.
I would be so excited.
Is there a part that's like really hard about owning your own business, you would say, or is it just like something that you love so much that you don't find it, I guess, like annoying or hard?
Oh, definitely things that are annoying and hard.
Mhm.
The pros definitely outweigh the cons. I think mostly working with women
Mhm.
is sometimes a challenge to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part about the business growing is the loss.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's people that come into the studio that you think are going to be there forever, and they're going
Mhm.
to be your like people to hold it down for you, and they're just not.
Yeah.
And when you I think like this studio is like such an intimate space. We don't let but my
Mhm.
captains and I don't let phones in the studio.
Mhm.
So while we're there together for like 6-hour rehearsals, like that is your people. And dance is friendship. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you lose a great dancer, you're also losing a great friend.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes hard. Um, on the business side, sometimes it's hard to just keep everybody organized, especially right now there's 45 people on the team.
Mhm.
Um, everyone has different lives, different financial situations, different this and that and the other, and trying to get all
Yeah.
45 people to be like, okay, like this, we're going to Boston. Does everyone have a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't. So where are you going?
Yeah.
Like, where are you staying? It does help working with adults because at some point, like, pause off, like you have to figure that out for
Yeah.
yourself. But yeah, I think the two things would be sometimes organization and being type A and not everyone else being
Mhm.
type A. Um, you know, sometimes the stress that is created in the environment sometimes is not fun, but definitely the loss.
In the next 5 years, where would you want to see this business going? Like, if you could sit down and really think about it, or is it just like something you're just like, I'm just flying by like the seat of my pants and just going with it?
I think I'm flying by the seat of my pants for the most part. I definitely have goals that I feel like I'm not ready to speak on yet because I don't have like the steps to get there. I would say that I would like to continue to expand within like, you know, the next maybe like let's say year. The studio that we rent from, there fits 75 people in it. So we still have room to grow within the space, but maybe eventually like outgrowing the space. We have already outgrown one studio, and I feel like that was a great accomplishment. So the more people dancing, the better. I think that might be the 5-year goal. The more people that can share the space is probably like the biggest goal.
If someone wanted to join or even just try out a dance class, where can they find you on social media?
So they can find me at Empire Dance NJ. That's the company, or I'm Bree970, Bree Jacobs on Instagram. We offer drop-in classes right now. Hopefully we're going to be offering weekly classes starting in December. Try to keep it cheap, try to keep it accessible for everybody. Starting with hip-hop and contemporary, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully we'll be able to introduce some musical theater, ballet. I definitely know we're going to be adding tap at some point. So
I will sit the tap out, but maybe the musical theater or the contemporary I'll jump in for. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I think we had a great conversation, and I'm so excited to now dance.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, what's happening right now?
So I am going to teach a baby combo to Tate. I always say her name wrong. Tate McRae.
Tate McRae, yeah.
Tate McRae's.
I texted her, and I was like, "You're gonna teach me a combo to this."
It's gonna be a little. She's cute. She's short and sweet. First, you're gonna put your arms up, and that's where your body is gonna tilt to the right, and then you're gonna do it again to the left. Okay, so that's the easy part. Kick, jump onto it, and then we turn to the other side. Kick, jump onto it. Yeah.
With the hands too?
Yep.
Okay.
So you add your arms. You go jump, drop, jump, drop. 6, 7, we go jump, hey, jump, hey. From here, we do 2 front steps, which is a top rock for breaking. You step 1, hey, 2, hey. And our arms swing, and the whole time our chest is bopping, yeah? So like this is gonna be the root of a lot of steps in hip hop, and this movement too.
Oh, I can't roll up, I can't over.
Butt and chest and hey. There we go. Hey. Hey. So from the top, we go. Hey, jump. Hey, jump. Step. Hey. Yeah, so instead of thinking about putting weight on this foot, we're gonna think about keeping our weight on that supporting leg, and this leg is just tapping.
Got it.
And how are you feeling?
Okay.
Cool. All right, are we ready to add step number 3?
Sure. I've heard of it.
Yeah, so you're gonna go shoulder, hip, shoulder, hip, shoulder, hip, shoulder, hip. So you're gonna double it up on the right side.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And single and double. Now you can take it to the floor and take it to the floor and back. So all we're doing is step, left, right, left, right in our box.
Okay. Can we do that again?
Yeah, so you just turned around. So we're stuck here, so you want to push right, left, back, and drop. You put your foot forward, and your hands come in, and you're going to turn over your left side. I think it's an oblique. Turn, and you replace your foot. So you want to go towards your left shoulder.
Okay.
Boom. Think this way, towards the yellow brick wall. Hey, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Then we go boom, 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 hey. Our pop star moment there. Front step, and Wu-Tang, and double, cross, and push, ball change, push, ball change, bring it back, ball change, bring it forward, turn, up, and down, swoop, front. I don't clean it up.
I feel like I got the basis. I just gotta
So unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to add a little filler set. So you get to practice your body roll.
Oh no.
After we come around, bring this up. I can't. Booty and chest. We'll do that. We can go back.
So one thing, even in dance last year, I could not do.
We can go back. That's fun. I like it.
That looks good.
Push and push, push and
It's
push.
that's why I get messed up, because I do the boom, boom, and then I don't know, then it's...
So you have to transfer your weight, which is the hardest.
Hey! I'm getting there. We're getting there. It's just like, it's gotta like click a little more.
Need to click. So I think the hardest part is those weight transfers on those feet. Worst case, you're grooving. You're grooving. If you lead with your head, sometimes that helps.
Okay.
Try again.
Yes. I'm feeling it this time. Feeling it.
Okay, full performance mode.
Maybe like tighten these shoes. I feel like they're
I
like...
gotta prepare for it.
Yeah, I feel like they're falling.
Dress rehearsal and then it's the final performance. Okay.
I just overthink my steps. I overthink the little things, and then I just like...
Dance is just meant to be fun, especially like to this song. There's so many good ones out there. Almost lost the hat.
What do you think?
That's good.
That was like a final, or you
Like
need
that
one
one was
more?
good.
One
That one
more
was good.
final, you think?
You can do one more if you want, but I thought that one looked good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Here, you can do one more. I messed my feet up a couple times. I think I'm gonna notice it.
That's good.
Okay, if you didn't notice it, then that's good.
That was like a full class.
We did it. I'm proud of myself. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was fun.
That was so fun.